What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen the title's going down. Make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it. I guess I don't know what it is. I guess individuals don't like for me to tell the truth. I don't know what's been going on. It seemed like everything was going good. I'm not gonna lie, within my videos in general. And y'all know how things get. When you speak the truth, when you speak the real about some things, I don't know. Just seems like, things go down from here, and that's why I've been chilling out a lot. I know a lot of people, have been questioning and wondering this, that, and the other, after looking at, a lot of things ain't adding up and just seeing, a lot of stuff. But I don't want to speak too much, on that. But I definitely say that I do appreciate the ones that are liking the video, sharing the video, commenting, doing what y'all can. But this last pass, this year alone and last year has been, pretty tough, but especially this month and last month has definitely been a little odd and weird with everything. And if y'all know what I'm talking about, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all don't, sorry to tell you, can't talk too much. But a lot of y'all know what I'm talking about. For the ones that know what I'm talking about, if anybody does have questions, y'all please let them know in the comments down below. Y'all got it right here. This is New York Post. It's actually multiple posts. This literally is, Somali, and this is definitely something that we've all been waiting for a while. Actually posted deportation. Please, you're just sending the princess back to her kingdom. And they're just, literally saying, say the word, when it comes down to it. This is Fox News. African nation tells U.S. say the word on extraditing Omar after fraud claims, which, obviously I know for a fact it's going to be something. It's definitely going to be something. I feel like, me being completely honest with y'all, I truly feel as if this has been so loud. And remember how I tell y'all really this whole week how we have information, and if we have the information, we see what's going on. We obviously know that they have way more information on Ilhan Omar, and we know that it's something that can definitely possibly be, something more of her. It's just being a slap on the wrist. I truly feel like things are going to get better, and they're actually going to do something about it. As y'all see, this is multiple posts that she'll be getting sent back, which is definitely amazing. You have it right here, and I've showed this clip before. It says JD Vance says the federal government will be launching multiple investigations into Minnesota Ilhan Omar. He says they will open up investigations into Ilhan Omar involvement in the Somali money laundering fraud scandals, which truly is amazing. And I truly cannot wait till they do way more. You know what I mean? Do way more than what they're doing right now. Because this is something, not just Ilhan Omar, everybody else too, starting with Tim Walz and what he's doing. And they're saying, they talked about Tim Walz as well. And trust and believe, although we want everybody, in it, I definitely want them to definitely make it happen within somebody real quick, because I feel like this is something, well, I know for a fact this is what a lot of individuals, voted for, and expect out of the Trump administration. Let's check it out.
Talk about Ilhan Omar and Tim Walz.
Exactly.
And obviously, Ilhan Omar, the president and the White House have been out saying she married her brother, that there is immigration fraud going on here. These are deportable denaturalization offenses. Can you give us an update on that?
Yeah, so we actually think that Ilhan Omar definitely committed immigration fraud against the United States of America. And I talked to Stephen Miller about this actually recently. We're trying to look at what the remedies are. That's the thing that we're trying to figure out, is what are the legal remedies now that we know that she's committed immigration fraud? How do you go after her? How do you investigate her? How do you actually do the thing? How do you build the case necessary to get some American people?
I'm really hoping that I don't get copyrighted for his music. If I do, I definitely apologize. Y'all probably see little specks of this video, but I apologize.
There's a related issue, Benny, which is she has been at the center of a lot of the worst fraudsters in the Somalian community. So do I know that Ilhan Omar was aware that the Quality Leering Center was defrauding the American people? I'm not certain of it, but we at least need to investigate it, because if people can commit wrongdoing without even the fear that they're going to be found out, that's a fundamental problem. So I'm worried about the immigration fraud. I'm also worried about, what did Ilhan Omar know about what was happening in the Somali community, and why was nobody looking into it until, frankly, Donald Trump came along?
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
Talk about Ilhan Omar.
And the thing is that not only, when it comes down to President Trump, but others, that have been on top of this. I mean, you got Benny Johnson that's sitting down here, talking to J.D. Vance, about a lot of things. And Nick Shirley. I got to give props to Nick Shirley for what he's done. He's the one that, shed the light on the Quality Leering Center, and many other things, not even just in Minnesota, but everywhere else. He's been exposing a lot of things. So definitely got to give that, and give Nick Shirley, his flowers when it comes down to it, because he definitely did an amazing job. This is Benny Johnson says today, for the first time, we got 100% on the record confirmation that Ilhan Omar committed immigration fraud. So, again, this is something that I definitely feel like wouldn't just go away and be swept up on the rug. I feel like at first, definitely, I would say that I was getting that feeling, because you have so many individuals that's been getting away with everything. I would definitely say, yes, these are individuals that are truly, getting away with a lot, but has gotten away with a lot. And, you sweep it on the rug, nobody talks about it anymore. But this right here, I feel like so many people are pressuring this so much that it can't. And that's what I try to do, and that's what I know a lot of other individuals do. I've been seeing A-Dog, I've been seeing Tatum, I've been seeing Benny Johnson, Nick Shirley, Rick. I've been seeing, so many individuals that have been, and I don't want to, forget anybody, but, you have so many people that have been shedding a light on this and not letting it go, anywhere, and I'm telling y'all, it's definitely amazing of what everybody is doing. And y'all, I mean, you got to get yourself pat on the back, just for the simple fact, y'all are sharing these videos. Y'all are commenting. Y'all being more engaged, and I truly, truly love that. Let's check it out.
Vowing to coordinate between all branches to end this nonsense is the new plan. Vance sat down for an interview with Benny Johnson, spoke about Somali fraud, spoke about the queen of the Somali fraudsters, our friend Ilhan Omar. Take a listen.
Ilhan Omar definitely committed immigration fraud against the United States of America. She has been at the center of a lot of the worst fraudsters in the Somalian community.
Yeah, she married her brother to get him in, which means they both should go back. Benny Johnson is with us now. Good to have you. Good to see you again. Everywhere that gets investigated, they find billions of our dollars stolen. Nobody cares, and it's so infuriating. What did you witness today?
Yeah, I witnessed something that made my blood boil as an American taxpayer, that we are not too far away from this entire country just going completely over a cliff, Rob. And it sucks because I have kids here and I want to stay in America. I want to raise my kids as Americans. But if you bring in people who are not harmonious with Western civilization and a high trust society, and then you give them the opportunity to simply write their name on a slip of paper and lie to the federal government, which is what Stephen Miller talked about today, and they can just lie about how many kids they have, what diseases their kids have, and there's no way to check. The federal government doesn't check. They just write a blank check to those states. And so that's how the Somali community gets away with it. And J.D. Vance revealed to me today in our 35-minute sit-down interview that there is no investigation of any fraud under $1.5 million. So you just might as well stroke. Boom, a $1.5 million check to anybody who wants to lie to the federal government. What kind of a message are you sending to our nation? I just want to thank you for playing that clip, by the way, about Ilhan Omar. That's the first time on the record that we have absolute and total confirmation that Ilhan Omar did, in fact, commit immigration fraud. And I looked this up right before coming on your show, that lying on your immigration forms or committing fraud against the United States of America is an immediate denaturalization offense. It is something that has been tried in court. It happens actually quite regularly where people lie to get into this country. They're denaturalized. They're sent home. It's something that must happen with Ilhan Omar. The rest of the clip, J.D. Vance says, we're exploring this right now. But Stephen Miller has all of the available evidence, and I checked with DHS. This is 100% true. Ilhan Omar committed immigration fraud to get into America and to loot our nation dry. And it is time that she suffer the consequences.
Get her out. Get her out. It's amazing. I don't have a lot of time, but and the Azerbaijani guy that stole $90 million from the government. Can you imagine that one person is able to steal $90 million from our government? It is mind-boggling how little the people that run this country care about the money that they steal from us.
Yeah, it is mind-boggling. I would encourage you to go and watch the full J.D. Vance interview. It's up on my YouTube account right now, at Benny Johnson. You'll find J.D. Vance saying that UFOs are actually demons and explaining the Christian theology of what UFOs and aliens actually are. He says he's going to take his top secret security clearance and head on down to Area 51, New Mexico, and Hangar 8 in Ohio and get the truth about the UFOs. Very interesting stuff. He has messages for Joe Rogan and Jimmy Kimmel. It was a wild interview.
Well, y'all have it, you know, and you truly have that confirmation now. So you know that the ball is rolling. I know there's a lot of people that, you know, truly feel like there's nothing getting done. But I truly feel like it is. You know, I truly feel like it is just because so many people have been on top of this. I feel like if it was one of those things, like you have so many things that and so many topics that has been going on, you know, within everything. Especially, you know, within the Democrats of trying to distract you. Always talking about President Trump trying to distract you from something. They love to distract, you know, to get, you know, to pull things away, you know, from actually what's going on. And we tend, you know, myself even, tend to put out videos and you tend to forget a little bit, you know, about, and you know, and it's things that, you know, that's not even out to where we see, you know, and it's almost like it's getting hidden, you know. So a lot of times it does become hard, but I feel like everyone, you know, being on top of this, you can't really do that. And I truly feel like that's why they're doing what they're doing and applying pressure when it comes down to Ilhan Omar. You got it right here. Ilhan Omar caught crying on camera like a total fraud, and literally saying of where she came from, this, that, and the other, why she came here, and how she, a whole bunch of BS. Let's check it out.
It is so incredible to be here with you all as you show the country just how courageous and dedicated and resistant we are. In the United States of America, we pledge allegiance to the Constitution and the flag, not to a person or a king. I came to this country as a king. Allegiance to the Constitution and the flag, not to a person or a king.
Ilhan Omar doesn't care about the United States. Why? Like, I'm just so confused about.
I came to this country as a refugee. To me, America was a beacon of hope. A place where freedom wasn't just a word, but it was a promise. I arrived here when I was 12 years old. I could have never imagined the day would come when we were staring down at this kind of creeping authoritarianism in the United States of America. But we are here because Donald Trump just has not chipped away at our democracy. He has taken a wrecking ball to the very foundation of what makes America great. He has tried to intimidate Minnesotans. He has tried to make us afraid.
Okay, two things. One thing about it is that he's not trying to intimidate. He's doing everything he can for the real. That's the second thing. The real Minnesotans. You know, and I don't look at them. I don't look at those individuals. Speaking of those individuals, I don't want anybody to make it seem like this is a race thing. This is a right or wrong thing. Because Tim Walz is not Somali. Keith Ellison isn't. And I put them in the same category. They're not Minnesotans. They're literally taking money from the Minnesotans. People that actually go to work and do what they need to do. So her saying that and calling herself that is a complete lie, and she's a total fraud. I'm not even going to lie.
He has tried to intimidate Minnesotans. He has tried to make us afraid. He has tried to divide us. But we stood strong. We have had each other's back, and we have never bent the knee. Because in Minnesota, we are built different. We do not cower to bullies. We are Minnesota strong.
I'm telling you, it's definitely sad that and I apologize for laughing. I'm telling y'all, I don't know if y'all know who Chris is. Chris, she needs to actually come in the video. She actually needs to come in the video. I haven't put her in a video in a while. But the stuff that, she has sent me a video. We had two little girls. But when I tell y'all, though, that you literally have a fraud, somebody that truly doesn't care about Minnesota, truly doesn't care about Minnesota, doesn't care about the actual Minnesotan, doesn't care about America at all. She's trying to play this card now because she's caught. And now J.D. Vance, Vice President J.D. Vance, has caught up to him. And now he's speaking on that, running that task force. It's over with. And she knows it's over with. That's the thing. I'm telling y'all. She knows it's over with. One thing about it, you have President Donald Trump literally calling out Somalia. Check it out.
Like those people, the people from different countries that are not friendly to us and countries that are out of control themselves. Countries like Somalia that have virtually no government, no military, no police. All they do is go around killing each other. Then they come into our country and tell us how to run our country. We don't want them.
What are you talking about?
You got to talk up.
She said how many countries?
Is there a list? Well, I guess we gave you 19, right? And it's probably more than that.
Is that what you mean when you mean third world countries, those 19?
No, I don't think they're all third world, but in many cases they are third world. They're not good countries. They're very crime-ridden countries. They're countries that don't do a good job. They're countries that don't register from the standpoint of success. And we, frankly, don't need their people coming into our country telling us what to do.
And you talk about denaturalization.
I'm talking about like Somalia, where you have a congressman goes around telling everybody about our Constitution, and yet she supposedly came into our country by marrying her brother. Well, if that's true, she shouldn't be a congressman, and we should throw her the hell out of our country.
Exactly. And y'all see it right here that it will be happening. I'm not going to lie. It definitely would be happening. I want to throw this clip in here. This is audio only. President Trump just correctly identified Democrats. And this is true. And I'm going to tell y'all why after y'all listen to this audio.
Republicans are wonderful people, but we're dealing with very sick individuals. The Democrats are sick. There's something wrong. They're like terrorists. And we have to protect our country. We have to protect our border. We have to protect. Republicans are wonderful people.
And I truly feel as if, this is definitely true, because it's the simple fact of them even, how could I put this? Them even supporting individuals, that want the worst, for the United States. And you truly see that. You truly see that every day, how they treat, Americans. And I don't understand how so many people are supporting, when it comes down. And I can't tell anybody who to vote for. I can't tell anybody, what to do or what to think. But I am going to, do my best with telling people the truth. And they're literally doing everything in y'all faces. They're using everything they possibly can to hurt Trump. And they can't do that. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling y'all. One thing about it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Catch y'all next one.